It's a national holiday in Sweden, so I'm off work, which means that I can spend a little time on doing my working on my platform. But I also plan to hook up with Mike from Agile Ventures, and we're gonna work on a community website or a charity website that Mike has been working on, and I've been working on for a long time ago. It used to be called what was it called? It was called local support, and then it kind of transformed into something else, and now I think it's called something with Kensington, Chelsea, uh, uh, something something. Let's uh, let's see if we can figure it out. Actually, I think I have it up here. Uh, well, it's not actually called. No, it's called Community Health West London. All right, so we're gonna work on Community Health West London, and we're gonna fix some UX issues, and what else? We're gonna do there's actually a long list of things that needs to be fixed on this one, and this is a pro bono project, so that's what we want to focus on when Mike arrives. He's not here at the moment, so I will go back to my code on Pranzo. It's a software as a service project that is that's in Swedish. Let's switch that. Right, that is about allowing small restaurant owners build loyalty programs. We This is a management platform for issuing and managing gift vouchers and prepaid lunch cards and stuff like that. So I've been working on this back and forward, a little bit of back end, a little bit of front end over the last several weeks. The front end is written in React, and the back end is written in Rails. So we can do. I think I have a custom command project. There you go. Right. Arctic Sounds. Nice to see you. Good morning. Uh, let's have a look on what we built last yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit of a mess. I created a mess, which brings me to a topic that I would like to discuss at some point with people, if you guys are interested, and that is the challenge of live coding, right? Before I get into that, um, I'm using this. If you see it up in the corner, yeah, I see this. There's a timer. I was thinking about starting a flow where I work for 25 minutes and I take a 5 minutes break to do something else. I don't know, stretch, talk about other topics and so on. I got this idea from one of the streamers that I follow here on Twitch. I'm new at Twitch, right? So, but I look for inspiration and for knowledge and wisdom for among people that have been around for some time. So this woman, Anya, Arcania, is her handle here on Slack. She uses this method where she focuses for 25 minutes and she has a break for 5 minutes. I think there is like a common knowledge thing about this, which I totally missed in life, which that this would be a good formula for people. So I'm thinking about implementing this. So I actually set up. Uh, I'm using this website. It's called Marinara Timer, which is, I don't know, perhaps based on apparently cooking. And so I have an interval uh, that looks like work break, right? For and it's a sequence. I don't know if it's gonna work for me, but I'm willing to try. And I outputted this in my stream here. So um, so anyway, at some point today, I would like to talk about the challenges of live coding and what it means to code when other people are watching. Is it positive and or is it negative? Is it tough? Is it you know intimidating for you as a coder? I don't know if you've done this or anything like that. I would like to have a little bit of discussion about that. My personal opinion is that well, I have many opinions about this, but generally speaking, I can say it's a positive thing. Um, but um, but it also comes with you know with some negative feelings, or so it's a lot of stress sometimes, and also um, this sense of not being good enough, a little bit of imposter syndrome, I guess. But anyway, let's get into coding. I'm gonna start this timer, and I'm gonna uh, go through the uh, uh, unless you want to see if chat has help for you. Seems like a good unless you want right. Didn't quite get that. Unless you want to elaborate on that a little bit. Unless you want to see if chat has help for you. Seems like a good idea. Right. Missed that one. Oh, shit. Anyway, uh, oh yes, yes, yes. I think yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, that's the upside. That's the good thing. And I think that here on Twitch, people seem to be very friendly. I remember there is this website Stack Overflow where you can post questions, and if you don't formulate your question good enough or something, you can get so much negative feedback um, that actually that even the management of Stack Overflow recognize that as a problem. So it depends on what sort of comments you get on your code. But from what I understand, people seem to be fairly friendly. I haven't had any negative stuff yet, no negative experience on Twitch yet, but we'll see. All right, let's get back to this subject later on. Let's see if we can uh, get some things done. I'm gonna get back into action. What we worked on yesterday, it was this feature for restaurants, and uh, we wanted to set up a feature for our the restaurateurs, or whatever we want to call them, to be able to join Pranzo. And so this is the first iteration. We set this up. Uh, there is a problem with this feature because the way we are handling this on the back end is uh, is a bit weird. So we do not validate the user, which I think is a bad thing, uh, or at least I think I'm not validating the user. So I need to look into that. The user validation is definitely important. Uh, so um, I'm thinking about the so I'm going to probably jump into the back end of things, and and then write some tests for that particular functionality. What happens if the user do not provide a name or email or password, and so on, right? So because I run some manual tests on this yesterday, and it seemed like their system was oh, Wow, Jesus. Siri started to talk and she scared the shit out of me. What a fucking. I got scared by Siri. Wow. Wow, Thomas. Anyway, um, so I'm gonna jump into the back end and see if I'm actually returning some errors on that one. Uh, and let me just see if we can check the log. Well, I can run some manual tests on this actually. Why not? That might be prove useful. Let's just make this clear this up, and we do Heroku run no Heroku logs, right? Logs, and I'm gonna pass in the T flag. So the idea is that I run the log on the server, um, and it is stopped. Why is it stopped? Because it fell asleep. Yeah, it's a free server, so we probably don't have it up and running. So let's see if we can wake this guy up by check your card. Right. So right, state change from down to starting, and it takes a while. Right. So we start the process. So you see, when you deploy your applications to free instances on Heroku, they can only be awake for a certain amount of time a day or hours a day. So that's what happened here. This one was asleep. So when I made this request, this is a feature where we check the validity or yeah, and the balance of those vouchers. Um, I was able to wake this one up, and now I'm gonna try to set up like a restaurant, and we're gonna say I'm gonna take a sip of coffee first. Just gonna say the joint, yada yada, email address, and we will just say, well, we can say Thomas, and I'm gonna use this hack test 4. So my email address is hosted on Google. Yes, I've sold my soul to the devil. No, I'm kidding. And so on all Gmail addresses, if you want to have a unique address for some reason, and there are actually many use cases, you can just say after the first initial your name or whatever you have, you can say plus and then something, and that Gmail will treat this as a unique address. And then password, and let's see. Now when I hit the create profile, this should work now. And we got the server output. Right, where is that? It started right options. So we have a pre-flight, uh, call. Then we have a post request here, and then processing vendors controller create as HTML, which is so weird. So I should probably send in application call, yeah, accept application JSON. But anyway, parameters is here. The joint, this is the params we are sending in, and we are beginning a transaction. We commit, we commit, we check if the user exists because we have some validation on that. No, no, this is actually, this is the creation, right? And then, oh, so we actually make 2 calls. Hold on a second. Insert into vendors. Oh yes, of course. Now it's all coming back to me. The first call is actually creating the vendor, but the vendor creates a system user. I don't know if you can see this, but we create a system user, which is the default user for that particular account. I chose that path. Oh, we can't see shit because of the chat, but I don't know if you're interested in seeing that anyway. Right, we're creating a system user here, and then the next call is actually to create a user, the user itself, which is the Thomas at Test Craft Academy SE, and the encrypted password is encrypted, which I like a lot already. And that works. Okay, so that worked, and we got this. Thank you for joining Pranzo. The joint, you know, and we will have a separate website for these people. You know, like a dashboard and stuff like that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to see if I can reload this and I get some error messages if I do something wrong. So first of all, we should have a validation on, you know, the name of the of the of the restaurant. So let's just create this profile here and only pass in the name of the restaurant. And he says we could not create your profile. Password can't be blank. Email can't be blank. Really? Right. And we have a begin here. Select one as vendors. We have vendors. Name the joint. And we're rolling back. But this doesn't seem like the appropriate message we're getting here. Yeah. Right. That was a weird error message. We should get a message that the name is not unique. So that sucks. Okay. Next thing. Yeah. So let's call this the other place. And then yada yada. Doesn't matter. And then we have the email address. Well, let's try that. I know that this email address is already taken or should be taken. So let's create this profile. And we still get this password can't be blank. Right. This is not the appropriate error message. That's the thing. So we have to go back and rewrite this. Right. So let's reload. Let's do this again. Business name, the other place, yada yada. Thomas, and we're gonna say plus test 6. And let's try to do that. Create profile. Yeah. But the thing is that I worry that we have way too many. Let's see if we can do Heroku. Let's clear this up. And then we do Heroku run Rails Rails console. And we'll see where we end up on this one. Where we end up. Come on. All right. So vendor, now we're in the back, you know, on the server, running a console, so I can execute all my Ruby commands. And this is the thing. We got this. Right, so there's a lot of problems here. A lot of problems, because we did create the other place. we did tell this poor guy on this front end that it wouldn't work, that it didn't work, but it actually did work. And that's the problemo. That's when you get when you don't think you are testing through properly, and you then when you're in too much of a hurry. But that's good. That's what we have tests for, and that's why we're doing these sessions to figure shit out. And I will, of course, prevail. Um, I'm not sounding too self-confident, right? But this is, one of those things, right? Is it okay to expose your flaws in live stream? Like, I clearly didn't think this through, and does that reflect negatively on me, or or not? Um, Yesterday I made not only one but probably a series of mistakes, or well, perhaps not mistakes, but I clearly, as I said, didn't think this through fully, and now I sit here with a piece of functionality that really is not good at all. It could potentially lead to a lot of confusion, a lot of errors, and so that's the that's the problem, right? Do you want to people to know about this? And I don't really care, uh, but I think this could be off-putting for many people. Um, so right, uh, let's see, user.last, which is the actual user, and we have Thomas of Craft Academy. Right, that's this system. What's the system user? So how many? All right. So how many users do we have? User.count. We have 11 users. So user, let's say all, and then pluck. Can we say pluck uh, email? Can we do that? Right. So we have Thomas Bocado, John, Elliot, this user. Then we have test 1, test 2, test 4, test 5. But then you have another Thomas with Craft Academy. This is the problem. There is definitely a validation on the user that this cannot be permitted. You can't have two users, two users, as with the same email, or what? No, you can't. You can't have two users with the same email. So that sucks big time. Right. So we're gonna do, first of all, user last destroy. We're gonna destroy this user, and we're gonna, so this one should be gone. Right. We can probably destroy 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Users equals user dot last 4 of them, and then we users each. We could probably say destroy. Can we say destroy all? Can we say destroy all? Destroy all. Can we say that? No, it's an array, so you can't do that. Each, and then just user destroy. Right, and now we got rid of those guys, and so we should have one. Yeah, all right, good. So we can quit, get out of Dodge, get the hell out of Dodge here, and we can safely say that this didn't really made the cut. So we need to go into the we need to go into this thing, the back end, and get busy with that stuff. Um, right. So let's focus. Let's close all of these things. Let's make this a little bigger, and then some. Right. Specs. And we have request specs. And we have vendor. Vendor can be created spec. Right. So this one is the one in focus from a testing perspective. Then we have the, well, like we can actually get that up on screen because we have the controller. Vendors controller, right. Right, so I probably need to write something here for this to be persistent on screen, right. User can be created, right. Okay, now we can close this sidebar. Okay, so we can read through what sort of mess, what sort of tests do we have here, right? So we have a before block with, we are right, in this way with valid attributes and address and user data, I guess. Attributes, addresses, and user data. Right. Expect this to be this and expect this to be that. The restaurant, the high street. So the addresses are being created, and we're not checking for the response per se because we don't need that at this point. Could be right. So yeah, let's leave it at that for now. But these tests are weird and without valid attributes. So here it is. Validated for restaurant, right? But this should error out, right? Description can't be blank and primary email can't be blank. But this wasn't happening to me, right? This was clearly not happening. So this one is on line 45. Right. So I'm just gonna run these specs. This was clearly cannot find rake. Are you shitting me? Right. So bundle this up, and really, am I still getting this? Can I do bundle? Bundle update. Yeah, I can. I think I can do bundle update. Mime magic. Can I do that? Right. Now we got everything. Good morning, Luke. How are you doing? I have this new, well, not new, but I'm planning to work for 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break to do some other stuff rather than coding. And the discussion of the day is whether the topic of the day is whether live coding, independent if it's on Twitch or with other people, like in job interviews or what have you, is intimidating and hard. and if it has positive effects or negative effects. So that's the topic of today. Um, your thoughts on that, Luke, in chat, if you want. Right, and we have an error. Bundle cannot continue. Right. Shit. Why would this be a problem? Why would mime and magic be a problem? The fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna just do RM gem file lock, and I'm gonna do bundle, and this should not be a problem. You should pull Krister in this into this as well. Look, now it worked. Yeah, so let's just do RSpec. We should be good on this. And there will be a sound soon, and we'll see if the next sequence, which is a 5-minute sequence, would start in 6 seconds. Yay. Oh, so it starts on a new 24 minutes. No, we don't want that. That's weird. I thought that... Right. It didn't really work the way I wanted to work. But it doesn't matter. We can experiment with this. I'm just gonna take to take a 5-minute break on this one. I think coding is pretty cool. I've been I've seen a fellow gamer build a Twitch bot on stream in C Sharp. I think it was. I also think how well this developing. Hey Tadeus, how are you doing? Hur går det? Ja. Det är för att pappa ska prata med en kille i 5 minuter och sen ska jag fortsätta streama. You good? Är det okej? Jag kommer och fixa frukost om 20 minuter ungefär. All right? Jajamän. Not my son. I also think on how our world is developing, having even and having even some knowledge in how programming works is good. And Twitch, I think, can be a lot less intimidating than a Udemy course. Yeah, I agree. I think you can learn a lot from watching people code and doing stuff. And I would also argue that there are so many bad things in our uh, there are so many bad things in our community and or in our industry. Like, for instance, I was mentioning this Stack Overflow culture that people are actually afraid to ask questions on Stack Overflow because if you ask a question in a way that doesn't appeal to the community, or if you, by God forbid, duplicate a question because you haven't done a good enough research, or your code is badly formatted, or you tag your question with the wrong tag, or whatever, you can get so much shit out from people. People are like downvoting your shit, or you know uh, writing kind of nasty comments and stuff like that. Uh, so I've heard many people say that Stack Overflow is not really nice to hang out on and ask for. I use Stack Overflow extensively to look for codes, examples, or some solutions to certain problems, but not that often for to actually ask questions myself. I've answered a few questions on Stack Overflow over the years, but I haven't asked too many questions. Let me see if we go to stackoverflow.com. I think. Oh, I'm not even logged in here. Is it with GitHub that I sign up? Yeah, it was. So, I have 625 reputation. That wasn't much. What's else first boss? Right. Uh, I got a one. Well, I did actually ask one question at some point. Uh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so people answer those questions in a very weird way, I would say. But I did ask a question back in 2014. That was a long time ago. Uh, I totally agree with you. Look, this it can suck big time the questions. But uh, in my Rails application, I have a feature that only I want to open users that I only want to open users that are logged in with certain email. We use device for user authentication. User is privileged. Certain is in privileged users just in production. On the other hand, I was thinking about right. My question is if I can set multiple values to that variable in an array. I'm deploying my app to Heroku. You can pass in an array as a string, and YAML should parse it. Yeah, that was a knob question. I know this uh, today, but apparently I didn't know that back in 2014. Uh, and Armando Fox answered this. Armando Fox is a professor at University of California. Uh, right. Okay. And the original question, and I answered my own question. Was it could be an array? The answer is no, not in Heroku anyway. Okay. Okay. So well, I just said it could just earlier. Yeah, but it cannot. Right. Uh, but yeah, Stack Overflow can suck big time. Uh, this question apparently was viewed 1,000 times, so that's good. But other than that, I think I've gotten something downvoted somewhere. Uh, uh, I think I got something downvoted, but I can't really see votes cast. I downvoted my I upvoted 54 questions, but I also downvoted some stuff myself, so that wasn't very nice. But anyway, I can't really see if I got anything. Followed posts, votes, views. Right. Uh, no. Questions. Are these my questions? I think these are my questions. This is what I. Is this what I asked? Could be. Yeah, I was doing some Objective C back in the days and stuff. Right. Anyway, let's not dwell on that now. Who gives a shit about my Stack Overflow history? Stack Overflow is great, but it can also suck big time. Uh, my problem today is that I need to start my timer, and so we're gonna go with this. Start this. Right. Uh, let's move on to what I am supposed to do. Why is my chat so fucking weird? Why is my chat so weird? Anyway, I thought I would see more of the chat. Uh, but I need to run my. So did I run my specs now, or did I not run my specs? Where the fuck am I? Totally got lost here. Here I am. Everything worked. Everything passes, right? So if everything passes, why the fuck am I not getting the same output on my uh, on my app. Right. So we have 6 examples. Post vendors without valid attributes. This right. To have HTTP status and description can't be blank. And the problem is if I just do this, if I just go to the website, where is my fucking website? There it is. If I do this, if I replicate the use the shit, rest right rant or whatever, right? I don't, doesn't really matter. If I just put in the business name, I thought I did this before, and according to this spec, the response should be description can't be blank and primary email can't be blank. And where the fuck you? There you are. And is that happening? No, that's not happening. That's not happening. It says password can't be blank and email can't be blank. Right. So that sucks. So the fuck, right? So binding pry here, right? Vendor, right. Right. And now we need to debug this shit because we get different behavior on this on the server than we get on the in the test environment. So we want to run the one on line 60. The one on line 60. And I choose to only run one. Well, good for you. Look, pry is a good thing to use. Right, so here we are. No, but truly, debuggers. It's great. I'm very happy to hear that you are getting into that. That's really 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 good. Why am I? There we go. So let's have a look at vendor params, the parameters that we're sending in, and it has only the name restaurant and it's permitted. Good stuff. And so if we now say vendor params and it is not created, is it persisted? It is not persisted. This one is false, right? So we should get into this, and of course the description can't be blank and primary email can't be blank, and that's perfectly fine. And I know what it is. I think I know what it is. The problem in production is that we are sending in those parameters. I can actually, I think I can replicate this. I have a theory what's going on. They are there, but they are empty. They are empty strings. So if we just do, this, but we do not pass anything in, but we send in empty strings like this. If I modify this and I run this again, well, it's not longer on 60. But anyway, so the vendor params now are actually description empty string. It's a big difference than not having them at all. And then if I now, oh, där är du. Så.
19 minuter.
Ja, vad behöver du?
Inget. Jag tänkte kolla hur lång tid du har kvar.
Tadeus, jag är i mitten av Östra ström just nu. Så jag jobbar. Så jag är live på nätet. Hej då! Hej då, Chichi. Right. So there is a difference between not sending them in altogether and sending them in as empty strings. So if we now would go and say, you know, create that vendor again, and now it is still, well, no, actually, it's still the same thing. So why the fuck? Oh, shit, my theory just blew up in my face. Right. Well, so, so, that wasn't that. Okay, so, hmm. And yet, when I'm doing this on the server, we get the different response. Oh, damn it. Right. Okay. Um, then there is only one way to do this. So we quit this. We need then to take a look at this from a different perspective. So what if I just spin this up Rails S, like I spin up the local server. Right, so we are on this TCP IP. Okay, so on 3000. And if I for the create params fix, right, so this git status. This is the front end part. Where do we have the? This is the front end part, right? And then so we have the vendor thing, vendor, right? So I'm just gonna copy this, comment this one out for just for this experiment, and I'm gonna say HTTP localhost 3000. Right. Right. So I'm gonna do cat. I'm gonna cat the package JSON just so I don't have to cat it. I can just take a look at it. Package JSON, and we have start. Right. I can just yarn start it. Yarn start. And where can we go from now? Terminals, Google. Yes, of course. Allow. What's wrong with you? Mm? There we go. Okay, so this is the local host. So we're going to switch over to English, and we're going to go to restaurants, and we're going to join Pranzo. But before we do that, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. I'm going to turn off the chat box for a sec so we can don't interrupt this. And here is the server, the local server. And if I now just say the restaurant, and we try to create that profile, we got all kinds of migrations are pending. Well, really? Thank you very much for that. So let's stop the server, and we're just gonna run those migrations. We're gonna reload this guy. We're gonna start the server again. Right. And here we go. Just call it, well, we can call it whatever. And we just gonna hit this, and we are in binding pry. See, I'm using the system now locally, so my debuggers will kick in whenever that happens. And so let's take a look at the, let's make this a little bigger. We're gonna take a look at the vendor params, and we have the same situation as we had before in test environment. We are just passing in the name and description. And so if we now do vendor create, vendor params, we have a rollback, and the error message is exactly what it is supposed to be. Primary. So why am I not getting this on the production server? Or am I doing something wrong? So let's go to the Pranzo. And we're gonna do the same thing here. And I can't really put a debugger. I can't debug it on the server. So yeah, so we get a different output. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why would that be happening? And we got a yeah, we get a 404. We're right. It's a 404, and the preview password can't be blank, right? Email can't be blank. Why am I getting two different set of behaviors? Have I not pushed up, or what password can't be blank? Timing. Yeah. Yeah. Da 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 da. Ta da 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 da. Getting weird shit. Oh. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Make sure that everything is pushed. Perhaps we have a different version. Could that be it? Let's go to Netlify. Netlify.com. We just gonna. Why do I have to log in? I am logged in. Okay, good. Um, let's turn on the chat box again. Oh, am I clearing chat when I do things like this? Apparently I am. Oh well, we lost the chat history in stream. Doesn't. I guess we can live with that. Pranzo was completed. When was this completed? New pages include index. When was this done? Production master at 9:25 a.m. 9:25 a.m. Okay. So let's have a look at the at GitHub to see if we have pushed out the latest code. There must be some fucking thing wrong here. The fuck. Pull requests. We don't have any pull requests. We have closed pull requests, fixed param structures 23 hours ago. Okay. Right, let's stop this one. This is like git status. Oh shit. Status. So we have in this problem in vendor.js, which is the the thing that we just did, right? Uh, yeah, so we don't want to commit that. But if let's just to git log one line, the last one is fixes param structure is A9AC. All right, A9AC, and this one is what? A1AC, right? And this one is merged into master. So I should probably anyway just I can do git stash. Um, I can stash this thing, and now I can just do git checkout. Uh, I need to fix those aliases. Checkout master, and then I just do git. I do another log, and I should not have that one, so I need to pull this one from upstream. Right. Each vendor can set up account. Right, so I need to do clear git pull upstream. No, origin, master. Right. Okay. So that was just the parameter change. Okay. Uh, so we have all of that stuff. But I can redeploy. I can just redeploy just for the sake of redeploying this thing. Um, manage build capacity, team build sites. Okay, no. Deploy previews, production deploys, publish, triggered. I can trigger a deploy. Should I clear the cache and deploy site? Yeah, well, let's clear the cache and deploy site. See, the weirdest shit is, of course, when you when you get a different behavior on your deployed site versus your local host. I am clearly missing something here. But I run the test. I alter the test just to, better represent what actually is happening on the site. And I spun up the local host and the local application, the client side. And I still get this, description can't be blank and primary email can't be blank message on my local host. And when I run the same thing, apparently or seemingly the same thing on production, I get a different error message. And that is really, really weird. And it's one of those things, again, back to live coding. You do this kind of stuff. First of all, this debugging session is time consuming. It could be boring for people to watch. Uh, and it can be, it's not that engaging for the audience or for people that you're working with to see you sweat over these kind of errors. But also, in a way, you could argue that it could be useful for them. Depends, of course, on where they are in their development or the learning process and so on. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating as fuck. So we are almost 1 hour into the stream, and I haven't made much progress, which is also a negative side of bug fixing. You don't want to get stuck for too long on these kind of things. Um, if any of you have any ideas on how to get this done, feel free um, to weigh in on this, or chime in on this one. This one is a tough one. Site is live. Okay, so we are live, and we should be. I'm just gonna do this exactly, but well, let's before we do that, let's see if we can deploy if we can deploy the DDD. Yeah, that was my opinion as well. Whether we actually did update it, but I'm also gonna update the backend. There might be something on the backend. Let's check it out, because now we know that. No, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We will um, we will go through this process again now, and we're gonna take a look at the response again. Let's see. This is so we're gonna do her. So first of all, clear this ship, clear, and we're gonna do Heroku run. No, Heroku logs. Sorry, logs dash t. Right. Okay. So this is the server log on the deployed side on production, and now we did set this up. We just redeployed. So I'm just going to send in one single parameter. I'm going to just do a little bit of line breaks here so we see where that begins. And I'm going to create this profile. I'm going to clear the network calls so they are being recorded. And I'm going to hit this now, right? And he says still password can't be blank. The network call tells us that we got 422, of course, which is good, but the preview is, the response is still not what we want it to be. And here on the server side, we see that we are rolling back this name Craft Academy. We're rolling back this. We don't see any errors here. What is the error? But then so we are doing two things. We are rolling back this thing and rolling back this thing. So we're doing two rollbacks. But why would the behavior be different? Okay, so here's the thing, right? If we go to the backend side and if we go to that controller, so what we are doing. What the fuck is this? This is some old shit code. This is not the same code. The problem is on the... What the fuck? What is this? This is not the right... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Git stash this. Oh my... This is not the right code. So let's see. Git log one line. Merge pull request 15 voucher. What the fuck, Thomas? What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, that's the what the fuck moment. That's exactly what it is. Oh my fucking god. Sorry about the profanity. Or actually, I'm not sorry about the profanity. I'm not sorry at all. Well, I'm sorry that my son needs to hear it, but you guys can live with that. Right, so I have 5 minutes to gather my thoughts. Look, guys, I need to refill my cup of coffee, and we will fix this. Damn it! I'm so ashamed of myself. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if we can listen to some soothing jazz music. Okay, because this is embarrassing. Not sure if we can do that now, but. Fuck. The desktop. Is the desktop audio coming through? There should be some very, very soft music playing. Good. This music should calm me down. I'm gonna refill this guy. Be right back. All right. Back on time. The music is not playing. Or is it? Oh, it is. All right. Perhaps with music I will do better. So we should probably take a deep breath here and get started. I will lower this a little bit, not sure if last thing, back to work. Okay, so so let's stop this. Let's do let's check my GitHub here. So GitHub, Craft Academy Labs. What a fucking mess I made. Bocado API. There's a pull request. This is an old one, not relevant. If you take a look at the code, you can see the commits. And the last commit on this one, you see the last commit I have here. Which one is it? Yeah, so git log one line. Git log one line. Right. This is the one. This one is 052E, which is a 1. This is the one. So I miss all of this stuff on this particular branch. The Lone Ranger. Love the handle. Thank you for the follow. The Lone Ranger. Sounds cool. Wish I could have thought of that. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Right, so you just caught me with my pants down here because I just fucked things up heavily. But I am in the process of unfucking myself. So that should do. So git remote -v. We have the upstream here, of course. Right. Yes, thank you. Git pull upstream. Why is not my why is I don't have my autocomplete working for me. Git upstream, git pull upstream master. Right. Okay. So that is okay for now, which means that if I start to run my tests now, they should probably fail. Hopefully, if this was the problem, because because what? I need to go to Heroku. I need to go to Heroku.com, and we need to see when we deployed this the last time. could be a danger in that as well. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on this or not, but anyway, I've made progress now. I exposed the error or the problem with my thing, because in my controller, why do I have errors here still? Do I have still some errors on the spec? No, we're good to go now. In this controller, I can see that this parameter, this modifier, is not really working, because I am sending in the test environment, I was just not sending in that parameter that is called user, and that's why everything was passing. Now that when I send in empty strings, this is actually kicking in, and so I'm going to set a binding pry here, and my test is failing for the same reason that my server is giving me the wrong thing. So I am on track to fix this now. So if we just say params user, right, and these are empty, these are all empty, right? And so if we do user params, they are also empty. And so the question is now, can I check for whether we have empty values in this hash? And that will require me to actually ask Google for this. So I'm going to say Ruby check if hash has empty values. Yeah, whatever, I agree. I could do values any question mark is empty. Well, okay, so first of all, I would like to see if user params, can I just ask this, name and then dot empty question mark, and that is actually true. So I could in principle say user params values any empty, and that is true. So one hacky kind of way could be if user params, unless user create, so we could say unless user params values any empty, but that's also not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it. Yeah, I kind of exposed the problem. In my test I wasn't passing in the user parameter, but now I truly mimic, the behavior of the form. The form always sends in empty strings. So, and if I just, if I just pass this in like user params, because I had a modifier here on this one saying that create this user if there is a user parameter, and since this was filled with empty strings, the answer to that question was yes, there is one. So it would try to create an empty user, and that's where the validation errors came up. So now I'm just gonna say unless there is any values, right? But the question is whether that is a good behavior or not. I think my test will pass at least. Let's see. Let's quit this and let's run the test again. But I'm not sure whether it will do that or not. Response with error message. Right. It is. Right. Right. Response with error message. What do you mean response with which? That on 83. 83. does create controller. But we're not really done here, because from a UI perspective, this is not a really good thing to be doing. Um, yes. Har du gjort kaffe till mamma? Har du burit upp det? Ska du göra det? Okej. Men du tänkte alltså hälla upp det? Eller för det fanns kaffe i eller gjorde du helt nytt? Okej, men slängde du den gamla filtret? Fantastiskt. Ja, det är fantastiskt. Vad duktig du är. That's good. Ha? Vad sa du? Tack, tack. All right. So my son just made coffee for his mother, and with a coffee maker. That's good. That's why you have kids, right? So they can make coffee for you, I guess, or not. Right. There is a UI, a UX problem here, right? And then a logical. Like in this case, in this like in this particular case that we are doing now, the way I set this up, you don't necessarily have to fill out this information. This could be left blank, as long as this is working. And I am not convinced that this is a good experience. We should probably return something else. Just tell the user that, hey, you need to fill up this user information. On one hand. On the other hand, we are creating a system user, so you know. But then there is another problem. This main email address for the restaurant itself, which is probably supposed to be like an info email address, should be unique. Should not be able to be, or should it? It shouldn't be any address that is being used for any user. But I'm not 100% sure about that. Right, another 25 minutes. Another 25 minutes. I don't know if this is working for me, but I guess it is. God bless. Adios. Right. We have another. This is the last stretch on this stream, so hopefully we make a little bit of progress. Not sure if we can, but I hope we do. So again, the topic of the day is watching tech streams a good thing for learning, and is streaming programming as a streamer a good experience? So if you have any thoughts on that, please write in the chat. I'd love to hear your opinions. Background story is I'm fairly new at this. I enjoy myself, but what are your thoughts on this subject? Let's see. I would argue that we should, in principle, say something else here on this thing. Instead of just saying the description can't be blank in primary, we should also that kind of add description can't be blank, and primary email can't be blank. We could also like, and you should have, and you also need to create your and you also need to provide your user credentials, like saying that, and remember remember to create and remember to create a user account for yourself for yourself. How do you say that? For yourself? No, come on. That's not how you can do this. Shit. Damn it. Google Translate. For yourself, right? Exactly. Or no, well, shit. Where am I? I didn't check what it actually meant. We just want to go to Swedish. Åt dig själv. Yeah, right. Okay. So the 83 one will fail for me now. Right. So in my controller I could do something like this. I don't know, this is a shitty solution. Message equals this, and then just create right. So we could so we could do something like this. This. We're gonna say if this is empty, like this, then we do two if sentences. That's gonna be like the bullshit, and then we just add this, and then right, and then we could do plus message. Or can we do concat message? Right. That's not a very nice solution. No. Right, because we're too. Oh God. Unless. Right. There we go. Now we start getting errors. No implicit conversion nearly into string. What? Message. Right. Right. Okay, this is truly not a good action at all. To be honest, I'm making a fucking mess out of this. Who gives a fuck about comments? Right. I'm making a mess out of this entire situation here, actually. Right. So if we just modify this, So I'm making a fucking mess. Right. So I could do I could do a before action here. Before action, like set message, and then we could do user create render error message, and then we set def set. Oh, yeah. And then we say user params value empty. And then please add. Oh, what was it? I wanted to say and remember, right, this one. And then if don't, then we just return an empty string, and then we say, at message. It's an instance variable, so we just say plus at message. Right, let's see if this works now or not. If this works or not. So can we just open a terminal? Right. Okay, I didn't. No, we can't do that. Want to run the spec here. Run specs, right. Vendors controller line 16 plus. Okay, so can we just say instead of plus we do is it concat? Right, we just want to run this one. Alright. Oh, did I miss fucking spell set message? What the fuck is wrong with you? There we go. No implicit conversions of nil into string. Why? This shouldn't be nil. So, oh god. Right. It's message, not message. You damn it. There we go. Right. So we should probably not call it set message, but rather check parameters before action. Check user user params present question mark. Right, we're just gonna check for these if user params no user params present user params present, and then if not, then we set the user params message. Det är ju inget mått, utan du bara häller på lite. Nej, bara direkt från mjölkpaketet. Ja. User message, user params message. Right. JSON. Right, we're just gonna do this. Status 422. Oh no. Right. Right, so we're kind of going green on this, and then if we go the entire thing, right. Right, right. I think this can do it for us. So I was hoping that I made better progress today than I did. I'm not really super duper happy with the progress that I've made so far. Um, and also, I'm sorry to say that my wingman from Agile Ventures didn't join me this morning. I have 10 more minutes or on this stream, or 11:41. So let's see if we can actually push this out to production, to our staging server. It's not really a production server, and see if we can get a better behavior on that on that server. So let's do what did we do here? We condition this values empty. Right. So it did he want me to have those parentheses? Yeah, he wanted me to have those parentheses. Okay. Well, sometimes the formatters are they do have opinions about whether we should add parentheses or not. And here we just said, yeah, so we just changed this description count blank. Remember to create a user account for yourself, right? So right. This is still not 100% perfect, but for the first iteration, this could go. This could be okay. So we're just gonna say. Should I just change this? Come on. There we go. Right. If we have anyone that just recently joined. It's always nice to have a discussion in chat. The topic of the day is it interesting and a good learning experience to watch people stream coding? And also, if you are a streamer and if you stream coding, like apparently I'm trying to do here, if that is a good experience for you, if you get something out of that. Comments in the chat, of course, if possible, or I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Right, adds conditional adds check if user params are present, and right, so we're gonna push to right, I can push this to my origin, and but I just want to see here, we did get this validation error if user is invalid, so that is okay. So that's good. No, that should be okay now. Render error message, exception, model. I don't really have to do this. I think you know what? I think I could just do this here and I could actually simplify this in this else block. Let's comment this out. And in this else block, I think I can do this. Raise active validation error on the vendor. But I don't know if this is, but I want to avoid this. I want to avoid this code repetition here. So I can raise a validation error here. Let's see if that works actually. Or not. It did work. So I have slightly better, or better. I don't know if it's better or not, but I avoid code repetition at least. Right, small, refactors, control. Well, I need to stage this. Refactors controller method to reuse the validation error rescue. Right, for yeah, that's about it. Right, so we can push this, we can push to origin, and now we can just go on and go to Craft Academy Labs, and we're gonna go to, oh, I'm not signed in on this one. Okay, where am I? Here I am. This is the Vocado API, and we can write params. Yeah. So let's just have a look at the files. We didn't change many things here. Right, we just raised this error here, create unless parameters. This is, so I could probably extract this into a function because I am using it twice. And that's okay, existing. Yeah, alright, so let's just merge this little change. And for 2 hours worth of work, I would say it's not much. I did manage to fix a few errors. But I didn't make much progress today. As the complexity of your system grow, the harder it is to keep track of the moving parts, and that's where tests come in as a good offset, and good, keep you in check, basically, keeping you honest. So that's not a bad thing, but still. Let's have a look at the Vocado server and on the activity, and it says just now build fail. Well, thank you very fucking much. Perhaps the log file is corrupted. What, are you shitting me? Damn it. That's why you should have continuous integration. Damn, for being I consider myself an okay coder, and apparently I'm not. So let's, oh god, git checkout master. I don't know. Right, git pull upstream. Right, and then bundle. Okay, rm gem file lock and bundle. Okay, so git status, nothing to commit. So what the fuck is wrong with you? What sort of a mess did I manage to put myself in now? What sort of a fucking mess did I manage to put myself in now? Right. ls app, right, so bundle. Yeah, we should be good. There's no new things. But why? So let's close this. Let's exit this then. Exit. Process exit. Right. Right. Restart the run console. Production check. Right. I don't need to run the production checks. I'm just gonna redeploy this. What the fuck am I doing? Really? I'm gonna like have a coffee and something to eat and get into a better flow of things and hope that the rest of the day will actually be better. And push rejected. What the fuck? Come on, give me a fucking break. Running bundle without dependency bundle. At specific sets for locking in the set. Perhaps the lock file is corrupted. Lock file. What? What is this? Never had problems with Nokogiri. Really, I need to check this. What could this? Is it Bundler? Why is Bundler archived? This repository was archived by the owner. That's weird. Why would this be? That's yeah, that's, isn't this weird? Why would Bundler be archived? Please show this. Yeah, I did remove the gem file lock. I did remove the gem file lock, didn't I? Yeah. So git status. What? rm gem file lock. What? So if I'm remove the gem file lock and it's not being removed, what the F is going down here? Why isn't it removing my gem file lock? I'm on master. I just want to remove you guy. Delete this. It's gone. Where is my... Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is it still here? Why am I on? Really? Are you shitting me? RM this motherfucker. What the fuck? Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know. You know what, guys? I'm not in a very bad, good place at the moment. Uh, um, so I'm gonna take this off camera probably at some point. I need to take a break anyway. Um, and yeah. So the answer for to so my take on my the topic of today, whether streaming programming is a good experience. For most part, it is. Sometimes it isn't. Of course, when you know fight a battle uphill, you don't have the tactical advantage of actually sometimes knowing. So no, but what I'm saying, when you go out on a limb and you do things that are out of your comfort zone, this could be a bit intimidating, and you know. Um, but it's not only about that. Sometimes when you cut corners, like I apparently did in this setting, and you find yourself in a bad place, and then you get a snowball effect. You know, one thing leads to another, and at this stage, I just don't know what I went where I went wrong. This is not always a pleasant experience, but it's always fun to interact with you guys. Thank you very much for sticking around. I'll be back probably later today. Um, it's a national holiday here in Sweden, so and the weather is not the best at the moment. So I will probably spend some more time coding at some point today. Um, Stay cool, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands. Of course, happy Easter, and have a great day moving forward. Cheerio, guys. Thank you, Luke. Say hi to Krista. Say hi to the other guys. Talk to you later. Cheers.